Hello and welcome back to Goodland, everybody. Welcome back to the land where everything is good. My name is Norrin.
My name is Michael.
And with us today, we have a very special guest, Jared. Hello.
Hi, my name is Jared.
Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Is one of our best friends. We have been friends since middle school.
6th grade, baby.
6th grade.
That's when it all started.
That's where it started, and it hasn't stopped starting.
It was all a dream.
And I've been Bruce Willis this whole time.
Exactly.
Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you get up to? What do you get up to when you're getting down? And
when I'm getting down?
What do you get down to when you're getting up?
Oh, man. Where to start? Well, I'm just living the dream, honestly. I can't complain, working for the man, meaning my dad. I work for my dad.
I see.
And he's the man.
He is the man.
Jared's dad is the best.
Yeah. Working for him. I just got my EMT certification.
What?
So
no way.
I'm now an actually certified EMT, so that's pretty sweet.
Wow.
That was
I took
really
the
fun.
Courses, but never took the test. So
looks like he's got you beat.
It's hard.
Yeah, he's beat me. So.
It's a hard test, I'll tell you what. But yeah, I got that done. I'm just waiting to try and get on with a fire station. I'm going to use it to do some firefighting, hopefully end of this year or next. So
cool.
Looking to save some lives,
Do fires usually need a lot of medical attention?
Oh, dude, more than you know. Sometimes you'll get there and it'll be like, the fire will be like, help, dude, like they're trying to put me out. So I throwing stuff. Like, don't worry, I got you, bro.
Yeah, so it's a more Fahrenheit 451 approach to firefighting than your traditional.
Everyone else is chucking buckets of water, and Jared's just chucking gasoline.
And I'm like, library books. That's what Fahrenheit 451 was about, right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
No libraries. Right?
No.
That's what I got from it. I don't know what their problem.
Why don't you guys tell me about your week? Michael, Jared, how has your week been? I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. How's your week, my friends?
Michael, you go first.
Yeah, no, it's been a busy week. It's being the end of the month. I have a whole lot of projects that I'm trying to finish up and wrap up for work. So it's just like nonstop, always being busy, but I finished strong. I finished pretty good with all my work. So that was worth it. Today I did a heck ton of chores, cooked a lot of good food, and yeah, I've been very busy, but all in all, good week. This has been a good week. What about you, Jared?
This week was my spring break.
Ooh.
So yeah, Costa Rica, the beach. Nah, I just stayed here. But I mean, it was cool. Got some extra hours in at work, overtime.
Just like what everyone wants to do on their break.
Exactly. Just making fat stacks, That's the end goal.
Okay, yeah.
Had some family in town this weekend, so that was nice. Goof around, watch some movies. I've been trying to see the Snyder Cut. Haven't gotten a chance to yet.
So we talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
And I was pretty harsh on the idea of it a couple of weeks ago. But an update.
But
it's good. It's good as hell. And I take back all the crap I gave it.
Nice.
He proved me wrong. It was a good show.
That's cool. From what I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've heard, probably the best DC movie of all time so far.
Yep.
Which respect.
Yep, it was good. It made me eat my words. It sat there and it grabbed me by the jaw and it said, "Here are your words."
Oh, dude.
And I chewed him up I swallowed. I ate those words.
Shoot, dude.
Yeah, Zack Snyder like rappelled in through my window like from a chopper.
No way.
Yeah, and I didn't get his autograph.
Shame.
Shame, dude.
But
Do you remember that Jimmy Neutron episode where they're playing baseball and like the bully kid is the pitcher and he's like, if you hit this, I'll eat my hat. And then Jimmy hits it and then he like has to eat his hat and he eats like the whole hat. That's just what you made me think of. Made me think of you eating the words.
Man, I miss Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, dude.
Old TV show.
Paramount Plus, dude. It's all there.
Man. We got it. Yeah. Not a sponsor, but
Oh, sorry.
no, you're good.
Gotta take this out.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna have to edit this.
I'm just looking to make us as much money as possible.
Jared,
So.
we brought Jared in for product placement.
Yeah. I need to hang some signs up behind me.
Big neon like
Hulu,
Mountain Dew.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus.
Sponsored by Jared.
Yeah, Jared paid us
Here
to
at your
come on to
local
the
Jared.
show.
You guys have no idea how much money I'm making on this.
Yeah, and apparently not sharing any with us.
I literally do not know how much you're making on this.
Hey,
Please
you
tell me.
invited me here. All right.
So we spent this week curating a selection of would you rather style questions. Last week, Michael and I asked, would you rather fight a lion or 100 ravens? And we took to Instagram, and it turns out that lion is in the it's in the minority of answers here. So that was interesting to see. Michael and I were the odd ones out. But we took that would you rather fight question and we expanded upon it. For this episode, the three of us spent time curating some would you rather questions to dive into and just really make sure that the world is all on the same page, which is the pages that we will be on, because we will be correct with every one of these answers that we give.
True.
So who wants to kick off? Who has just a real spicy one that they would like to begin with?
I have one I'd like to start with, just
Amazing.
right off the bat, if that's okay.
Please.
Okay.
It is more than okay. Take us away, Jared.
It's one that I found. But it says, would you rather have edible spaghetti hair that regrows every night or sweat maple syrup?
Oh, wow.
Think about that one.
I'd probably go with the maple syrup.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because everyone sweats. So if someone sees I've got sweat in my arms, they're not going to know it's maple syrup. They probably will just think I've got some maple syrup scented deodorant, which would be cool.
And then you've got to peel your shirt off at the end of the day.
Yeah, see, that's why my gut reaction was the spaghetti hair, because I was just thinking about how sticky you would be all the time.
But think about if your hair is spaghetti, you lay down and just smush spaghetti into your pillow.
I mean, there's no saying it's got sauce. It's just noodle.
No, but spaghetti noodles are kind of squishy, there's something to them.
They would just form a natural pillow for you.
Unless it grows in raw.
True.
Oh God, that's true. It that would be terrible.
You run your fingers through your hair and it just cracks all the spaghetti.
It just shatters.
That would be dangerous. Yeah. Awesome.
I would definitely prefer wet spaghetti to hard spaghetti if it was going to be coming out of my follicles.
Well, then if it's wet, then you can shave it every morning, right? Just cut it off because it only grows back at night, apparently, right?
If it regrows, yeah.
So
and then
just bald and hope that no one sees you at night.
You never have to pack a lunch for work again. You can just grab a fistful.
How weird would that be? That's
true.
Norrin.
Well, just bring
watch
the sauce.
this.
You just walk into the break room and there's a guy like there's like this big long
In his
table.
hair.
And there's a
Down
guy
on
at
his
one end of
hair.
it, and he's just got like mad fistfuls that he's yanking out and like shoving into his mouth.
I'd say is following social norms. I think
Oh.
the maple syrup fits in a little bit
That's
simpler.
true. Yeah, it's definitely a lot less striking. You know, you fit in a little bit more.
What about you, Jared? What would your answer be?
I'd probably go spaghetti and then just shave it off every day. The maple syrup, I feel like would just be too uncomfortable. Speaking honestly,
It's true.
mean,
Wouldn't be comfortable at all.
you know, to each their own, but I would just feel sticky all day.
If you,
I mean,
what
it's
would
kind
you
of the same thing. You could just bring pancakes with you wherever you go.
Oh, that's
True.
true. Although then
The-
you have to make pancakes. Your body doesn't generate those like it does.
Yeah, but would you ever eat like raw spaghetti though? Like that's the
if
other
it
thing.
came down to it,
Sure.
True.
if I didn't have another choice. If you could replace your sweat with any other liquid, what would you
That's a good
replace it with?
point.
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
mean-
You'd probably want to do something not sticky.
Spaghetti,
you know?
it's like if you're like, oh shoot,
I can see you just fine, Jared.
Gatorade.
You'd
Gatorade,
replace
that'd be
it
good.
Which kind of Gatorade?
Maybe like lemon lime.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Am I
not
cutting
bad.
out?
You're just a little slow, but it's no big deal.
Can you guys not see me very well?
I can see you fine.
Story
Yeah.
of my life, dude.
See, I think I'd go with
Okay,
like
that's good.
the
My internet connection is
cucumber
bad, so forgive me.
cucumber lime.
Oh,
That's what I'd go for.
a new twist on an old classic.
That's like that was like my favorite. I always thought it was so weird until I tried it when I was like down in Texas, and oh my gosh, it's the best.
Yeah, I like it too.
Nice and fresh. I don't think Gatorade Powerades, that's not quite as sticky as maple syrup. You know, definitely not as sticky as like soda. So it's a good
Oh.
mix.
I'd have to do the zero sugar for
Mm,
sure. And that way you're just clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they always talk about how like when you're exercising, you lose electrolytes, and that's why you drink those drinks. But what if
You
while you
just-
run and exercise, your sweat gives you electrolytes?
Dude.
It's like an infinite loop.
It sounds more like a superpower than anything.
It's true. It's true. Man, I don't know. I have a hard time picturing what it would be like to have something else produced by my body other than what it already makes. I'm trying to think of something that would be like useful. Like, I mean, I guess like if I sweat gasoline, right, I would never have to pay to fill up my car again.
You could also die.
That's true. I could not go near an open
No.
flame.
You could explode like at
I
any
think the
minute.
fumes would kill you.
So I'm like, boy, it sure is dark in here. Someone's like, oh, don't worry, I got a match. No.
Oh,
Man, what a
shoot.
good question, Jared. It's a
Thanks.
good way to get us started.
Michael, why don't you read one of yours?
Okay. So would you rather have all of your food be just frozen or just barely too hot? You know, like when you put food in your mouth and you're like, it's too hot and you're like blowing. Would you rather have your food always be at that state or always be like, you know, a little bit frosty?
I think I would go too hot.
Yeah. I'd probably do that too.
Because especially like if the food is just a little bit frosty, like if it's that where you don't microwave it long enough, you know, and
Yeah,
your first bite's fine, and then you hit the middle of whatever you've made, and you're just like, oh no.
No. But think how long it would take you to eat food if it was like always hot, and like you burn
It's
your
always
taste buds
hot.
eventually. Like
Every bite you have to
you, if you take the person whose food is always just a little bit too hot, you place them in Hogwarts, and they accidentally open the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh shit, dude.
speaking parcel
Yeah,
tongue.
it's just parcel tongue every time they eat.
But think like
Seems
you
legit.
couldn't eat you couldn't eat ice cream if it was always hot. Like
And that's what I was thinking about. Like you couldn't eat anything that's naturally like cold, like even fruit.
yeah. Oh,
Like that would
that's
suck.
disgusting.
Just hot watermelon. Ugh.
I guess we could technically run that experiment. We could just like pop like a grape in the microwave and see, is this worth it or is it too much to take?
Hot grape.
Hot grape.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to ask yourself, do I eat like the
Is this
majority of
worth
foods
it?
is cold or is it warm that I eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, because I guess it's like the approach of like, do you prefer cold pizza or microwaved pizza? But just apply
Yeah.
that to everything in your life.
Right. I'd probably rather eat cold food hot than hot food cold.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
So like I'd rather eat a hot like bowl of ice cream than eat like a cold bowl of spaghetti.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you.
You
Yeah,
know what I
that makes
mean?
sense.
Yeah, no, that totally. Because I mean, you can still like drink at that point. It's just like a milkshake, right? If you're
Right.
Yeah.
drinking,
Oh man,
Or
everything would be a
like
milkshake.
hot
See that
chocolate.
that could
yeah,
be like a pro, instead of having like every soda is now a slushy,
you eliminate brain freeze.
That's true.
Hmm,
Interesting.
Yeah, you never have to deal with that again if you have to eat everything hot.
not bad.
That could be a plus. Yeah.
Yeah. And think you'd never have to use a microwave again.
Right. Plus
Go to
all of the
work,
new like flavors that you've never experienced in your life before.
That's true. Yeah. Like what does uh lukewarm cheese taste like? Like
I mean,
That might not be a plus.
I've never had my mouth burned by cheese before. I usually at that state it's like melted, right?
Sure.
this is like a really hot.
What if everything was hot but it retained its original composition?
That would be weird. So like a
So
popsicle,
But like
but hot.
You just boil your mouth. It's pretty much like a tea popsicle.
Yeah. But still solid shape.
that's something
That'd
you
be
could never
interesting.
experience otherwise.
That's
Yeah.
a new twist. Yeah.
Or like peanut butter. That'd be weird.
Like hot peanut butter.
Hot peanut butter.
I make
Yeah.
grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, that's true.
And-
That's really good.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Hot boy.
Hot boy. That's Jared and I started saying that, Michael, a couple like last week, and neither of us can remember the conversation that started it.
No.
But
It just came about somewhere.
it
Yeah. Well,
it made
like-
sense in the context of the original conversation, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what
It was
the
like a
original
response that someone made to a comment, but it didn't sound like the correct response.
One of those
Like, it
things
was
that
just
like in the moment you're like,
it
yeah,
could
that
be
makes
just
sense.
an interjection. Yeah.
Yeah, but now we've adopted it wholly into our vocabulary.
Sounds perfect.
Exactly.
Norrin,
Exactly.
what a question do you have for us?
We're
Yeah.
kind of following a theme here of food and like body modification here.
Those are two completely different things.
Food-based body modification. Would you rather your fingers become pepperoni sticks or your toes become blocks of sharp cheddar cheese?
We're talking like
Ooh.
Slim Jims for
Talking like
fingers.
Slim Jim fingers. So you lose like the articulation on them because it's just
Oh,
Slim Jim.
so you're like Edward Scissorhands, but Slim Jims.
Edward, your Edward sausage fingers.
That's what they called me in high school.
Ew.
That's
yeah,
Norrin over there.
Or you get cheddar cheese for toes. And I
Cool.
guess we'll follow the regen rule that the spaghetti had with this.
Okay.
It grows back.
What's
every
like
month.
the state of the cheese? Are we talking like little cheese rounds, like cheese sticks? Little like, what's the state of the cheese?
Like a block of sharp cheddar cheese, but like
Oh wow, just a straight block.
Toe
Mm.
size.
but like toe sized.
Okay.
Hmm.
I've made up my mind.
Let's hear it.
And I think, so hear me out. If you go with like blocks of cheese for your toes, you can still use your fingers, right? You still have all your fingers, which is kind of a necessity in life. But if you only have like cheese for toes, whenever you stub your toe, it won't hurt.
Oh,
hey.
okay.
Smart man.
That is a lot
So,
more cut and
boom.
dry than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, you probably couldn't go running because that'd just be uncomfortable.
True. Would you just kind of like shift around?
You'd
Like a
probably get
duck.
squishy cheese in your
You
socks.
just, like,
Oh,
clap, clap,
that's
clap.
gross. Would you need to wear socks?
That's a good point.
That is the reason that my first instinct was sausage fingers, because I cannot imagine locking up blocks of cheese in socks all day,
And
then, like-
all day.
like going to work and then pulling off
Ooh.
socks to just reveal nasty, sweaty cheese.
How often do you pull off your socks at work, Norrin?
No, I'm talking about when you get home
Oh,
after
yeah.
you're at work for a long day on your feet all day.
Yeah,
You
that's
get
true.
back.
So
You could never take your socks off around other people.
yeah, that begs the
It'd be
question.
a lethal weapon.
Like, does the cheese stay cool? You know, is it
I don't think it.
you need
in
to
the,
like
in the fantasy that I've built in my mind.
Yeah.
'cause that's the
In
thing.
my socks, they would not.
If the cheese is like constantly cool, well, the thing is like they wouldn't warm up as much because you have like no body heat in your like feet in your shoes, so they wouldn't warm up as much, but they definitely would. So if they like stayed cool throughout the day, I definitely choose cheese feet. But if they're just like, you know, a constant non-regenerative stinky cheese,
That's a good
probably
point.
not.
Because like, you'd probably have to, like cut them off
You
so that they would
oh,
grow back each day. Because
yeah.
if not, it would be like months and months on end.
See, and Slim Jims, they're like already cured. You know, that's like
You don't have
cured
to worry
meat
about it.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
It's true.
But I mean, if they
Also,
regenerate,
if you're trapped,
then
if you're like lost in the wilderness for an extended amount of time, you're like saved.
Is
true.
a bear is going to be more attracted to Slim Jim fingers than Stinky Cheese feet, though.
That's true.
True.
You could not go camping ever again.
No.
Yeah,
I
true. You
couldn't.
can't just like tie up your hands and toss them over a tree.
Toss-
Like,
toss them in the tree.
You're just like dangling from your fingertips.
that's a good one. I like this one.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a Norrin original right there.
Yeah. Shoot.
All right, Jared.
Okay, I've got one. Would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try to attack you when they see you?
Oh, jeez.
So, like, you
Great.
walk outside, and there's like a tree full of birds, or like you walk past a dog pound, and they're all just like booking for you.
Ooh, well, I know my answer.
I think I know mine too.
Okay, Norrin, on the count of 3, we'll go 1, 2, 3, go, and
Okay.
say ours. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, dogs.
Dogs.
Good.
Yes.
Ooh.
Here's
You would
my
rather-
reasoning for that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
If you walk outside and it's like migratory season, up above you is a cloud of like 100 birds. And fighting off 100 birds is way harder than fighting off one dog. Also,
Yeah.
Right.
most of the times I come across dogs, they are leashed up. And so if
Yeah,
their
that's a
good
owner
point.
if their owner is strong enough to keep a good hold on that leash, I don't have anything to worry about.
That was
That's a
my
good
my
point.
thought process is like a dog has an owner. Like birds, they don't.
They
No
bow
one's
to
gonna
no
tell them
one.
to stop. They bow to no one. If you go outside and see 100 birds and then quickly run inside your house, no one's gonna take the birds home. They're gonna
It's
stay
like-
there.
It's like in
They're gonna
Shrek.
stay there.
It's like in Shrek when the birds like go like throwing stars into the wood. They're just gonna like slam into your house.
Yeah. Eventually, a dog is gonna get taken by its owner away.
Or
Eventually.
animal control.
Right.
Yeah, or animal control.
That's true.
Birds,
Yeah.
there's no stopping them whatsoever. And you could always go to a place without dogs, but I think it'd be a lot harder to go to a place without birds.
That's true. Well, and think about like driving your car. Yeah.
Just dive bombs through the window.
True.
Oh,
But I mean,
shoot.
on the other side, how horrible would it be if you're just driving your car and constantly dogs are just like charging you? Like,
Oh,
that would
man.
be horrible.
Yeah, that would be awful.
I would
That
much
be
rather
like
hit a
super bad.
bird than a dog.
Yeah, you would just like leave a wake behind you. Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yep.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I mean, as far as the fact, if I had to fight off these animals every time, I'd rather fight birds than fight like, a dog, because
Yeah, but the moral weight that comes with having the dogs.
yeah.
true. That's true.
That's a lot harder to stomach.
Yeah. What about you, Jared? What would you think? What was your initial go, and then have you changed it based on our conversation?
Originally I was thinking I'd probably rather like have to fight dogs just for like what you were saying with like probably like being around an area where there's a lot of dogs is a lot less likely than just like going outside and there's birds in the sky everywhere, so you can't really dodge that. I'd probably still stick with dogs. The only downside is like what you were saying, if like I'm driving and dogs are just constantly trying to attack me, and it would make driving impossible.
Yeah. I think part of it goes back to like how badly do they hate you? Like,
Yeah,
are they
that's a
like,
good point.
World War Z zombies like throw themselves at you trying to kill you no matter what? Or is it just like, oh man, I hate this guy, I'm gonna growl at him,
And then like eventually they give up, kind of a thing.
Yeah, like it depends on the severity.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, Michael, take us away. Bring us another one.
Okay. Would you rather have your hands be constantly covered in hair, like Sasquatch hair? You can't, like, if you shave it, it grows back instantly, like constantly hairy hands. Or
Okay.
would you have little skeleton hands? Where it's just the bone. Still all functioning, but just the bone.
Oh man. I am going to say bone, because if my hands are hairy all the time, the second I touch something sticky, I'm in a world of hurt. You know what I mean? Like you get glue on your hand hair, and you are just.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your whole day. It's trying to get that glue out of your hair.
So like, would the hair be on the palms of your hands as well?
Oh yeah, completely covered.
Ooh, that would be uncomfortable to like you and everyone else that ever gives you a handshake in your life.
I don't think it would be less like any more comfortable if they were bones, though.
That's true. That's a good point. I'd probably go Sasquatch hands, just because like you go skeleton hands and the things that you can do like with your hands are like decreased substantially,
What could
Plus,
you
I feel
not
like it'd be a
do?
lot easier
What could
to
you not
break
do
it.
with skeleton hands?
Like probably pick stuff up as easy.
Oh,
You
they're
know?
a little slicker.
Yeah.
Right? Because like your fingers have like, I don't know, grip.
Pads. Pads
Exactly.
and glands.
Thank you. But then,
True.
you go to pick up a ball with skeleton hands, no dice.
Imagine trying to use bar soap with skeleton hands.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Imagine being in prison with skeleton hands.
I don't know. If anything, you could be like, dude, back off. Clack, clack, clack.
That's true.
Clack, clack, clack.
Clack, clack, clack.
True. Plus, like, I think, like, you're trying to use soap, you could just like stab the soap into your hand, and it's just
True.
like
Oh,
sitting there.
But like,
talking
here's
like
the thing:
claws.
how much protection does like your skin and muscles and stuff in your hands give your bones? So like, if you like slam your hand or like in a door or something.
Oh,
Like,
well, and then think about it. Like, if you break a bone, you've got skin and juice and whatnot to keep the bone where it needs to be.
right.
But if your hand breaks and there's no skin or juice that it's swimming in,
your bones are
it's
just
gonna
everywhere.
fall right off.
It just See, I think of like
Probably
all the
use
hair
your
getting
hands.
everywhere. Like,
Oh, that's true.
if you get your hand cut and it's just covered in hair, that's gotta get infected.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably carrying infections way more often. Anything that gets stuck in your hair is now getting just like swimming around inside your gash.
Think of like the ingrown hairs. Oh,
Oh no.
that'd be horrible.
no.
Yeah.
You've heard of does the carpet match the drapes? What about
Oh,
the
That's awful. So does like the hair keep growing?
I don't know.
So like would it be like
I'd assume that it would reach like a length, like dog hair doesn't just like continually grow, but it is longer. So
Yeah.
like, Norrin's hand hair maybe would be like a little bit more frizzy.
but would it grow to the length that he has it now?
I've just got like locks and I could do like marionette puppetry with it.
Dude, you could just like
braid it
and make a whip.
That'd be dope.
That's Indiana Jones 5.
Oh no. Oh, that's awful.
Indiana
That's
Jones
actually
and the
Shia
quest.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, he takes up the mantle.
He takes up the mantle.
Oh,
Every
man.
time, dude. Shia LaBeouf comes in clutch.
They call
Always.
it Follicle Fred.
Oh no.
Okay, guys, I got another one.
Okay.
And this one, well, it's not as goofy as Hair Hands. Would you rather live in a world with no music or no movies?
Ooh.
No movies.
I think I'd go no movies too. I love movies. But a world without music, that might be too unbearable.
Mhm.
I've seen Footloose. Let me tell you, Footloose is pretty unbearable. So
Now, see, would movies have no music to them? Like no soundtrack or like
right. Yeah, you get one but
Dang.
not the other. So the movie you'd be watching wouldn't have a soundtrack. I imagine they would adapt and find other ways to build the tension. But
just really good miming?
yeah, or just like sound effects would just be played up. And so you would get like instead of people winning like best composer, it would be like best SFX.
So where do you like draw the line? Like, does singing, would that be excluded? Would you not be able to sing?
People physically don't have the ability to sing.
But they can like clap their hands and that kind of sound effects. Like what would the sound effects be? Where's that line?
I suppose, I mean, yeah, nothing like no melody, no
No beat
yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah. It would erase that. I mean, that would kind of suck, right? If erasing music means erasing like the beat and stuff, like a clock ticking, like that's like a metronome, right? That's like a beat. So
That's true.
it would either be silent clock or it would just seconds wouldn't all be the same.
What
Yeah, that
about
would just
turn
be like
signals?
so frustrating.
Yeah,
Turn signals.
they just flash randomly. Tick, 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 tick.
How frustrating would that be to live in a world where like you just couldn't control that thing?
It would be like the water drop torture, but constantly in everything that you do.
yeah. Like you would have to like if you lived in a world like that, you would like have to wonder like what power is out there that's determining this
Yeah.
randomosity. Where is it coming from?
And it's just me with my hair hands doing puppetry over the world.
It's Norrin's haired hands all the way down.
It's just hair hands, always has been.
That's awful. That's an awful image.
Yeah, that's a horrible thought.
Yeah. Don't ever give me that much power.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to go with music. Like videos and stuff are cool. You know, we wouldn't have music videos. That's unfortunate. Like we wouldn't have all the cool movies and stuff we like, but
Right.
music's just unbeatable, you know.
All the movies would probably be replaced by like rock opera, you know?
Yeah, that musicals would be the thing.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you know, I was fully all in on, I was going to say I want movies and no music, but you have swayed me. I didn't
Well,
really.
the reason that movies are as good as they are is because of music. I mean,
a lot of times,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can't imagine. There was a movie that I watched once. It's still like one of my favorite ones, but it literally has like 20 lines in the whole movie, and the rest of it is like just intense soundtrack. And it's like it's
cool.
perfect. It's so eerie, but like
do you
awesome.
guys remember, think back with me, go on a mind trip with me. I want you to picture Meridian Middle School, the choir room in there, and I want you to picture a day where the big overhead projector screen was pulled down and we watched a movie with Star Johnson.
Oh boy.
We watched a movie about a world with no music, and there was like a boy discovering music, right? Do you remember this?
I do.
It was like kind of like weird and like looked really low budget, and like everything was made of stone. And
Yeah.
we went into this old stone house, and Star Johnson was like in tears because she was like, imagine no music, and she was like trying to get us to just like comprehend.
I don't, so like I remember it vaguely, but I don't remember anything about the plot.
It is a fever dream to me. I just remember everything in the world being like made of stone.
Yeah, it looked like it was like in the past in some, I don't know, in like Czechoslovakia in medieval times or something like that. Like,
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
I remember not paying attention. That movie was really hard to watch.
And I just remember all of us having a hard time watching it, and Star Johnson being like, "Why are you taking this seriously? Imagine what no music would be like."
And we were just talking the whole time. Yeah, I do remember her.
That's what we
mad.
did all the time. I remember like we would just take our like, you know, those old Nike or Gatorade water bottles that you could like squeeze and it would spray water. I just remember we would always play with those. And I remember, I can't remember if it was you, Jared, but like someone took my water bottle and like went to like do that little spritz on my face, but they popped off the cap.
I think it was Mikey Hart, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was Mikey Hart that did it.
Someone just like sprayed it and popped off the water bottle, and it just dumped the whole contents of the water bottle in my face. And Star Johnson was just like, "What are you doing over there?"
Speaking of middle school choir and Mikey Hart, there was this one time we were practicing in the auditorium, like getting ready for a choir concert.
Say right now.
I was on one end of the risers, and Mikey Hart's little brother was on the other side, and the kid passes out, like had his knees locked or something, passes out.
Yeah.
And Star Johnson goes, "Norrin, help him!" And I was like, "What am I supposed to do?"
I think I remember. Didn't we just like look at each other We were
Yes, you and I made eye contact like
What?
we were
Yeah,
like we were in the office, because I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
yeah. I don't know why she looked. That was hilarious. You were on the
Yeah.
other side of the room.
I was completely opposite of him, nowhere near him.
And I'm pretty sure Mikey was like right above him.
Yep, like his own brother was closer to him than me. Norrin, help him!
Norrin,
Do something.
what?
What do you want me?
Yeah.
What do you want me to
Yeah,
do?
that was hilarious. That was weird because he like locked his knees, but like he passed out, but he like bent his knees so he didn't like just like face first.
Thank goodness.
He like curled into a ball,
Yes.
and it was like, that's
I
weird.
think choir is probably like the greatest source of our fun times and crazy stories in high school.
Definitely.
Like, I think back on it, I literally can't believe that I took choir for like 6 years straight. Like, that's not
They
me.
let me.
Yeah, like I would never do that on my own, except for like my friends. Like, that's why I took it every single year.
And honestly, yeah, that was the best part of it, was you got to hang out with your friends for literally, because we had like 2 choir classes a day.
We did. So that'd
We
be
had
like 3
half
hours
of our day
We were like all
just
in.
hanging out. Yeah, that was fun.
I'll never forget
That was really
Triangle
fun.
Gate though.
Triangle Gate.
Yeah, Caleb and I with the triangle during that like 8-minute long American medley senior year.
Oh shoot!
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Caleb and I borrowed the triangle because we thought it would sound nice in like one specific part of the song, and then the night of the concert we just went nuts, like banging it throughout the entire.
Oh, I totally remember that.
And like it was like Captain America Civil War, where half of the choir thought it was the funniest thing ever and the other half thought that we were like really annoying and irresponsible.
That was like
I
our
do
whole
remember that.
choir experience, though. Everyone, either people absolutely hated us. I could think of
Yeah.
a few people, or people freaking worshipped us, and it was the best.
Yeah,
That was
I
hilarious.
would. Those high school years in choir stoked my ego to a state that is entirely unhealthy, and I'm so glad it did.
Yeah. So here's a question: would you guys go back in time to experience that with the knowledge that we have now? Meaning that you'd have to go through high school again.
Ooh.
So you take me, like the brain that I have in my mind now,
brain, put it back in like 5 years ago, Norrin, Jared, and Michael.
Remembering high school round 1.
Yes.
I would do it. Yeah.
When I got to the end, would it take me back to now?
I'd say it probably would like align up to like your current state, if that's like how you chose to live your life.
I don't know. I've thought about this, like things that I would do differently, but I don't know if it's worth it, because in the end, like, you'll probably make just as many different mistakes, or like have different things happen, and then just be back in the same place. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, there's
that's a good point.
There's no telling what would be different. We probably couldn't come back to the same spot that we're in now.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
we wouldn't have like anywhere near the same events happen, because of just like how different we would act.
Well, and I don't
Right.
think I would have near as much fun, because I think, like, looking back at the number of people I talk to in high school now, I think a lot of people I would just be like, "Dad, not worth it." we're not even going to know that one another exists in 10 years. So just nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a good point.
So
That's true.
I probably would like only talk to like 4 people total, and it would just be
Yeah,
like a way lonelier
Include
time
2 of
than-
us.
I'd probably be way more disrespectful to my teachers.
You think so? I feel like I probably would like start out like, you know, being like, oh, this is like a great opportunity. I'm gonna like get good grades and stuff. But in the end, That'd probably last like a month, and then after that I'd be like, man, I could goof around as much as I want.
Well, that's
I've
what
already
I
done this.
that's probably me going back. I'd probably be like, there's no need to try as hard as I did because it
Exactly.
didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, all of the
Also-
classes, yeah, I would probably get really mad at adults telling me what to do.
I'd probably get really mad at the other high school kids too, because like at this point, like it was bad enough in high school already being a little bit more mature than
Yeah,
some of the other people
definitely.
we were in school with, but now being 22 and and going back and having to deal with high schoolers for another 4 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't
good
know if I
point.
could do it.
Yeah.
Jared, give us another would you rather.
Oh man. Okay. I've been trying to find like a good would you rather fight one. One that I've heard before is like, would you rather have to fight? So like, say you're in the woods and you come across a like 20-foot tall like Kodiak grizzly bear, right? Who's just like thinks you're hurting her child, is just pissed, right? Like 100% going to attack you with full aggression. Or a hive of killer bees that is like equally angry at you.
Dang.
Which would you rather have attack you, or like you have to defend yourself against?
What was
If
the
it's
first
like,
one?
Adult grizzly bear, like Kodiak, 20-foot tall monster, or
is
just
that how
like
big they get? Do they get to be 20 feet, or is that like exaggerated? Like
um
this bear is a super bear.
I know they've found bears that are like 20 feet, 15 to 20 feet tall.
Dang. Okay.
Well, 15. We'll go 15.
You're welcome, Norrin.
20
Just
was an
knocked off
exaggeration.
5 feet.
Yeah.
I would take the bear any day. I am like,
Really?
I'd say if there's like one thing I don't like, I hate like bugs that like swarm, like like bees swarming around me. No way.
Sure.
Oh man. Yeah, those both sound like nightmares.
Because like thing like bees are bad enough, but like killer bees, like
Right.
deadly hornets, like
And like that would be your whole vision. Like it meant just like
yeah,
enveloping your head. Like that would
Ooh, that
just
would be terrifying.
yeah, like you could see nothing but bees.
exactly.
Well,
Like
so, and here's the question is like, so would it change if it was possible to run away from? So like which would be easier to run away from, a bear or a swarm of killer bees? Or like if you flat out were going to be killed by either one of those, would it make a difference?
I'd rather be killed by the bear.
yeah,
The bear would do it faster than the bees would.
yeah. Oh my
Probably.
gosh, that sounds horrible.
Slow death by bees.
Yeah. Oh,
But then would you be able to outrun killer bees faster than a bear?
What's the max speed of a bee?
That's a good question.
I don't know. See, like bears, you could like you have terrain on your side, so you know you can run past a tree, and the bear will have to like run past the tree or like climb a tree. But bees don't have those limits. Like
Right.
bear
But
would be
think
like, do I have to go over it, to the side of it, under it?
right.
Bees are just like, frick that, we can go every direction.
Sure. But think like bees, you could jump into water. And like a bear, if it's already starting out at 15 feet, like how fast can you climb 15 feet?
I just Googled it. Top speed of a wasp is 25 miles an hour.
I can't
What's-
run 25
what's-
miles an hour.
Yeah, what's top speed of a bear?
I don't know.
It's probably got to be
I'll look it
pretty
up.
close to that.
Tops.
I don't know. See, I also would choose the bear
25 miles an hour.
there we go. Yeah, I would definitely choose the bear because think like, even if it's like a 1 in 100 chance of me like stunning or like insta killing the bear somehow, chuck a rock or a sharp stick. Like if I do that to the bees, like I may kill 1 or 5 bees, but they're still coming. Like you would need to 100% kill the bees to be safe. Whereas like the bear, you could get lucky.
Well, I don't know. I don't think these aren't poisonous bees. If you take
Oh,
out enough
true.
of them, it's just like 8 bee stings.
True, but they're like, are
How-
these like bees or hornets? Can they sting multiple times, Jared?
I said killer bees originally.
Okay,
So
bees that definitely is better. That's a good
I'm gonna
point,
look up.
Norrin.
So how many? I'm gonna look up how many bees are in the average hive.
How many bee stings does it take to kill a man?
I think bees you can probably take a few more hits from. Plus, like bees don't want to sting, right? That's typically like
So one hive equals 30,000 bees.
This
frick.
says the average person can safely tolerate 10 stings for each pound of body weight. So this means the average adult could withstand more than 1,000, whereas 500 stings could kill a child.
Oh my gosh.
Who wrote this article?
Okay, so you would need to kill
But
what?
10 stings per pound of body weight. So that's like, and you said there's up to 3,000?
30.
30,000.
30,000? I am definitely not
So there's
3,000
no.
pounds. So
So
Yeah,
you would
there's-
need to
there's
kill. You'd need to kill what? At least
like more than
29,000?
29,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, the bear.
The bear gets this one.
Yep.
because even if he does catch you and destroy you, it'll be a lot more bearable. Oh, than 30,000 bees.
Yep. Yep. We did not realize that one was going to be so easy. Yep. Definitely the bear.
Yeah. Also, a bear. I looked up a Kodiak grizzly. They can run up to 50 miles per hour. So I'd probably still go grizzly.
Yeah, that
No
makes
tolerable
sense.
death.
Yep. Okay, Michael, you got another one?
Yeah, okay. This one actually goes to like fighting animals. So would you rather have to kill one of like every standard kind of animal on the planet or have to kill a dragon? Like no guns or like, nukes allowed or anything like that. Like
Just bare hands.
I'd say, maybe you could do like a sword or something like that, but
Okay, so in this scenario that you're setting up, Michael, we have been given a choice. We have been given a sword and shield, and we are tasked with either A, killing one of every type of animal, or B, killing a dragon.
I like to think this is like Hercules, how his life was like completely undone until he like did all of those challenges. So you would need to spend the time killing one of every single animal before you could go back to normal life, or one dragon.
Huh. I think, man, I might choose to face off against the dragon because the time that it would take for me to track down one of every kind of animal.
8.7 million species, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you probably don't have to be as specific to say like every kind of bug. Like like there's a bee, there's a butterfly.
No. We're doing Pokemon rules on this. Got to kill them all.
Gotta kill.
Gotta kill them all.
I would probably go one of every animal, just because. Think about like the biggest animal in the world is a blue whale, right? And a blue whale is not going to fight you like a dragon would, right?
True.
But then I don't know.
There are a lot of animals that could kill me if I was only armed with a sword. There are a lot of animals that could win.
True,
So
but they're like it's free range. So like you can plan and build a tiger trap to get your tiger. Like
okay.
So
but I can't build a dragon trap.
well, you could. How would you build a
Describe-
dragon trap? Norrin?
Exactly. That's what I was
Describe your
going to ask.
dragon trap.
Describe your dragon trap.
Okay, my dragon trap. I'm gonna get a bunch
Chapter
of
1.
wooden barrels, and I'm gonna fill them up with. I'm gonna take my gasoline sweat that I've equipped with the previous,
Good
and I'm
call.
going to
Good
fill
call.
them with my gasoline sweat. And then I'm going to ask that guy that almost murdered me with a match back in high school, and I'm going to have him. We're going to launch the dragon already has fire, right? So we're just going to
Sure.
launch the explosion barrels at him.
Aren't dragons fireproof though?
Yeah, I think
the
so,
outside?
Norrin.
Well, then we need to establish the lore of this dragon that we are contending with.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that this is a big flying fire-breathing dragon. So I'd say it's probably
Fireproof.
I'd say so. Have you ever heard of a dragon that's not?
Right. I thought they were all fireproof on the outside. Like fire
Well,
breathing.
Like, how about let's just go with like Smog from The Hobbit,
Sure.
like that kind of dragon.
Oh, for sure, I would fight Smog.
Yeah.
I'm going to outriddle that guy,
Somebody
no doubt.
sounded pretty confident.
I'm going to
there.
get in his little Benedict Cumberbatch brain, and I'm going to give him the runaround with mind games.
That's true. If you think of him as just Benedict Cumberbatch, it's not that intimidating.
Yeah, 100% I would fight Smog.
Just picture Benedict Cumberbatch and you're good.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between fighting one of every animal or fighting Benedict Cumberbatch,
Oh, hands down.
I
Yeah.
bet I could take Benedict Cumberbatch. There are not a lot of people on this earth that I think I could take, but Benedict Cumberbatch is one of them. I think I could fight Benedict Cumberbatch.
Hey, after Doctor Strange,
he did
mean,
not have
dude
to
got
get he did not have to get very ripped for Doctor Strange.
true, but he had to have some level of athletic definition.
So do I. I ran cross country in high school. I've got some level of
No,
athletics.
I'm just saying.
Probably about as much as Benedict Cumberbatch does.
I'd say it's probably going to be like toe to toe.
We're
Yeah.
probably on pretty. It's anyone's game if I go up hand to hand against Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay, so Norrin, you would choose the
Oh.
dragon, and
I would
Jared,
choose. I would specifically, if the dragon was Smog, I would choose the dragon.
What about you, Jared?
I would choose one of every kind of species of animal, but only if they're like actively trying to attack me. Like I'm not going to go out and just like, oh, this puppy, and be a terrible person.
Jared,
would
that's not part of the challenge. Is one of every animal. They're
Right.
not. It's not like we've turned all these animals against you, but you could do it humanely. You could choose like a really old one.
Like euthanize them.
Yes.
You just open up a
But with a
euthanasia
sword.
shop.
but with a
Yeah.
sword.
With a sword.
I will behead your
I
really
might-
old parakeet.
I might have to rethink my answer because this is starting to sound really inhumane.
I was gonna say you wouldn't need to like choose a little girl's dog. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
there's probably a wild dog out there somewhere.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. Like find a rabid dog.
Like
Yeah.
Jared, probably in your lifetime, there's a good chance you might accidentally hit a dog with your car. Like,
That's a good point.
So you don't need to go up
Or a
and, like,
tiger.
yeah.
You
Well,
never know.
I hope not. Plus, like, think on the other side, if there's like
Two birds,
only
one
one
stone.
dragon in the world,
Do you know what a tiger is?
I think so. 4 legs, a trunk, right?
Nope. We're
no,
going
And
down
see-
the wrong street.
people can
Isn't
always
he
get another
friends
dog.
with,
You
Big
can't get
Bird?
another dragon.
That's
That's a
true.
good point.
That's true. Okay.
So
What
you're
do you
saying,
think?
what if the dragon was on your side and it was like, he's not trying to kill you, but you have to kill him? Ooh,
You've
plot
grown.
twist.
They gave you a dragon at a young age that you
And
raised.
he's your
from
best
it was
friend.
An egg, and you have like a psychic connection with it, like an Aragon.
You have to kill this dragon.
And then they say, this is the one you have to slay.
Ooh.
So
Plot
we need to like
twist.
compile this like spreadsheet that has like, would you rather fight dragon or all species of animal? And then like 100 different asterisks where like, if it's Smaug, Norrin says this one. If it's telepathically linked, then no.
Okay, guys, I've got our final one here.
All right, let's hear it.
And this one, I don't mean to bring the show down, but it's a little bit more serious.
Oh man.
So I just want you to, and this is one that, you know, we can kind of send off into the viewers as well, and just really think about this one, take it to heart. Would you rather always be just so sweaty, just like slick with it, or would you rather always just smell heavily of old beef, like it lingers in a room when you leave?
Are you talking like cooked beef or like raw beef,
No,
like rotting beef?
like old beef, like you got some raw beef that you meant to,
Oh,
you know, you were bringing in from the trunk of your car after grocery shopping, and it fell out of the bag and it landed on your driveway, and you just didn't get around to cleaning it for a while. So the hot August sun has just
is this from
gone on for a little
personal
while.
experience, Norrin?
Both of
There's
these
no
happened to
win.
me, and I cannot get rid of one without keeping the other. So
There is no win. There's no winning in either of these.
Yeah, no.
So you are just like slick with sweat all the time, or you just
Oh.
like have an old beef smell that kind of lingers as you pass by.
Sweat, 100%. I'm
Think of,
not
like-
going beef smell.
Think of like going to bed at night. You just wake up in this pool of sweat, like sitting down on the couch to watch a movie. Forget it. Like,
Oh shoot, yeah, that's terrible.
the
like,
only
you'd have to worry about mold.
the only activity that you can like do is like swim.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
You're just so viscous, you float like oil on water.
Oh. See, I could see like, you know, you just need to create like your own little like, you have this little like kiddie pool with like your plastic lawn chair that you sit in to watch movies and do stuff, you know, and you could have a water bed, you know.
That's what I was thinking, waterbed. But I mean, still, there's really no winning.
That's probably gonna be so bad for your skin too. Like you get prune
Yeah.
fingers.
Oh,
Just
ew,
like all the
constantly
time.
pruning
Yeah.
fingers. Oh, see, I think
Oh,
I
that
feel
sounds
like you would get
terrible.
used to the smell, you know.
Yeah, but no
like-
one else would.
Exactly.
You
but
would
like
never
going,
get any job ever.
No.
just like going off of like your
work
own
from
state
home.
of living, like you probably wouldn't get that good of a job if you're sweating constantly either.
Yes, that's
Like,
true.
So-
Either of these would put you out of work.
So like the smell comes whether you're clean or not, right? Like you can be totally clean, fresh out of the shower,
Oh yeah.
still smell like rotten beef.
You could douse yourself in Axe body spray, which is notorious for lingering in a room, and
Ugh.
it would be
Which-
replaced with beef.
Which would be worse though? really.
Oh,
well, we are not sponsored by Axe anymore, Jared.
I'm sorry, guys.
that was the one we had on lock.
Man,
That's
this
also
is a
why
good
we do the
question.
podcast virtually. It's because contractually we're obligated to douse ourselves in Axe body spray, and Michael and I could not stand to be in the same room as one
In
another.
the same room, yeah, that makes sense.
Man, I don't know what I'd choose. I'd probably choose smell because I could
think
get
I
used to
might.
it. And you know, I'd probably just live like in the middle of nowhere or just do remote work, you know, like you can just do remote work and be fine. I think that one would bother me the least, you know. It certainly would bother other people though.
Right. Well, if you could marry someone that had no sense of smell,
Oh,
boom,
that's true.
saved.
Yeah, the alternative is marrying someone with no sense of touch or sight.
which is a lot more difficult to find, right?
Oh, slightly more difficult.
That's a very specific dating website that you have to you have to enroll in.
No touch or sight.
I don't think that kind of person could be on a website.
No, I don't think that kind of person exists, actually.
Oh man. Yeah, no, like I said, that's a tough one. I think, oh God, I think I would do the beef.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that's the only way you can go.
Yeah, that's just a horrible life.
Just imagine, like, even if your sweat didn't smell like anything, like even if it didn't carry a BO odor with it, like just being just like sopping wet all the time. Like, Michael, I think you mentioned mold earlier. Like your clothes, you couldn't have them very long because they would just get
No.
mildew. Like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
Think
I
of the
think that
pit
would be too
stains. That would
awful.
be
It would be way more expensive to be sweaty all the time because you'd have to constantly replace things that just got water damage. You probably couldn't even go through school because you'd water damage all the books.
true. Yeah, you could never read a book. I
You'd be
can't
Have to wear,
imagine like you
you'd have to
couldn't.
wear gloves all the time.
You'd spend your
Oh,
life dumb and wet.
yeah.
You would just be dumb and wet all the time.
You couldn't do like anything with electronics either.
Yeah.
Like a phone, you just glitch it out as soon as you get water on it. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's got to be the beef.
beef it is.
Beef
Ugh.
it is. Where's
Beef.
the beef?
Beef me up, Scotty.
What's for dinner
All right.
and lunch and breakfast?
You could support Wendy's, Arby's, and what's the other, like, United Beef Council or whatever?
I don't know.
The United Beef Council? Those sound like the worst supervillains ever.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Come on. No, who has the beef? It's what's for dinner.
That's
Who is
Hamburger
that?
Helper, isn't it?
No, come on.
Is it not Hamburger Helper? This is not a joke. I
Well, I
genuinely
looked up United Beef Council, and that's not a thing, Jared. So
I knew it.
Let me see. I'll figure this out.
there is an Idaho Beef Council though.
Beef.
So
Beef.
That sounds Idaho Beef
Funded.
Council sounds way less intimidating than United Beef Council.
yeah, who is it, and why are they uniting?
I think it's like, I don't even know. I know it's commercials, but it's just like everything I'm finding is just like
Beef, it's
funded
what for
by
dinner is 100%
farmers and ranchers.
Hamburger Helper.
No, it's not. I promise you.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is.
Oh no, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even
It is it's the government's thing. It's an American
Right.
advertising slogan aimed at promoting the consumption of beef. It's just the government trying to make us eat more beef.
exactly.
Eat more beef.
Eat it.
I never thought about it like that before.
Dang.
That's kind of scary. The the slogan, I looked up the slogan for Hamburger Helper, one of which is "Mom's tired." The other is "Add to 1 pound of hamburger." So
That's real catchy.
better tasting.
Add
Now-
already
1
forgotten what you
pound of
said.
hamburger. Add me to 1 pound of hamburger. I'll tell you what.
Heyo, watch out.
I'm just gonna slap around in it.
We have a lot of beef here in Goodland, apparently. So
Almost exclusively beef. And it's given to us by the United Beef Council,
United Beef Council, dude, it has to be a thing.
who are they're slowly plotting to overthrow Michael and I as the rulers, the mayors of Goodland.
mhm.
But
United
we
Beef
won't
Council.
let it stand. We won't stand for their
No.
atrocities against man
Hey,
and beef.
you might not be able to do anything about it.
We might just get beefed before we know it.
They might be more powerful
know.
than we could ever imagine.
Well, that's why we brought you and Jared for this special episode. So
Thanks, guys.
You're our special anti-beef agent.
Hey, that's what they called me in high school.
And with that, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into Goodland. Jared, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on,
Hey.
my friend.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah.
Big fan of the show. Love you guys.
Really? What's your favorite episode?
That one where you talk about reindeer.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Huh?
All-terrain deer, classic.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jared, it has been just an absolute pleasure, my friend. We'll have to have you back on if you're up for it.
Hey, man, anytime. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call.
Wow, yeah.
and I'll be there.
I like how that's like a
I'll
better
be
slogan
there.
than the hamburger helper.
Add the 1 pound of beef. Guys, it would mean the world to us if you left a rating on iTunes. That really helps us climb the charts a bit, preferably 5 stars. Generally, if any much lower than that, we're going to say no. We'd rather not. But 5, we'll definitely gladly accept them. If you are watching on YouTube, liking and subscribing and commenting and all that is well, it's nice. And go ahead and follow us on our socials at Goodland Pod on Instagram and Twitter, or Goodland on Facebook. And with that, this has been Goodland, and I'm glad you're alive.